So let's get the group aspect out the way.
All right.
Let's talk about you as an MC.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about the new album. Cause we're gonna talk about the new album and new projects. And we're also gonna do some more history with you. Foreman Mandela. Tell me about it. And what was the concept behind the creation of that project?
All right, Foreman Mandela. I had got a call from Haas G, Phantom of the Beat, because Phantom of the Beats, because I did a project with King Just called The Emperor and the King Best of Both Hoods.
We want to touch on that too.
Right. So after I did that project with KJ, King Just, Phantom called me and was like, yo, I ain't know you was still at it. I got a situation going on. Now, like I said, me and Phantom, we go back to Stapleton. He's UMC, he Haas G, you know, he from Stapleton, like I said. So, and he had did some production on my Underground Emperor album, you know, Son of a Chill and Wants and Needs. So when he said, let's get together and let's do a project, it was like, it was a no-brainer. I said, all right, we'll combine this. We'll combine this. So when I came out with Foreman Mandela, it was like, I took George Foreman and I took Nelson Mandela. I took both their last names. I combined it and called it Foreman Mandela. All right, George Foreman, heavyweight champion of the world and things of that nature. But when he got knocked out by Ali, he said he was quoted for saying it took me 20 years to get up from Ali knocking me down, knocking me out. Because once Ali knocked him out in the Rumble in the Jungle, it was like he just fell off the planet. When he came back, 20 years later, he became he fought his way back up, oldest heavyweight champion of the world, George Foreman grill. He reinvented himself. He didn't let time defeat him. He stayed the course, even though he might have been out of the public's eye. Nelson Mandela, locked up for over 26 years, came out, still became the president of parts of Africa, Nobel Peace Prize winner. So he didn't let time defeat him, and that's what Foreman Mandela is. It was 20 years, going on 20 years since I dropped my own solo album. Been out the public's eye for a large time. So I didn't let time defeat me. I said, you know what? Let me come back. Let me come back with an album. The game is a lot different. They're not giving out deals and signing you and being with a major conglomerate. They want to have total control. I could come out, do songs, spit it into the universe the way I want it. So I said, let me put the album together, and I called it Foreman Mandela.
What's dope about it is when you listen to the project, you don't sound dated. And what people say about being dated, to me, is an excuse for people to say, if you sound dated, it says you sound intelligent. And I'm not saying you don't sound intelligent. You don't sound like you get caught up in that time frame of, oh, this sounds like this, or this sounds like this. I was looking at the video for Zaddy Gotcha. Explain that and tell me why that was a song that you wanted to come out with.
Well, on the Foreman Mandela, the first single that I dropped was Straighten It Out. I actually did that song with my son, Don Dollars. And so it was more of me coming out with a song that was symbolic to black on black crime, where it was a message, it was a concept, it was something that needed to be spoken about now, because I was touching on today's topics, whether it's popping pills or Black Lives Matter or these people, kids getting high, robbing old ladies. There's so much. So, and even with the state of hip hop, it was like, let's straighten it out. We got all these MCs looking and sounding the same. Let's get back to the original form, to where everybody's supposed to have their own original sound and concepts. So when I came out with the album, Straighten It Out was the lead-off single. When I said Zaddy Gotcha, it was like, okay. Most of the people that know me, they know me for the black on black crime. They know me for the positive songs. They don't know that I like to touch on whatever, party songs, this, that, and the third. And I just wanted to make a song. When you look at Staten Island, a lot of the artists come out with dark sounding songs. It's dark, it's street, it's more, it always has a street edge to it. It always has to be tough. It always have to show that, where I wanted to show more of a sexy side or more of a party side coming from Staten Island, more something dedicated to the party and the ladies. So I said, let me make a Zaddy Gotcha where I don't have to be in a hoodie or I don't have to be in a white tee. Let me dress up on some grown men's, grown and sexy.
Mike Champ is my song though.
Mike Champ is just more of it's a lyrical attack. It's, when you have an MC, sometimes you just want to spit bars. And that's just like, all right, I'm going in. I was raised to be a rhyme spitter, a real rhyme getter, you know what I mean? I was raised to be a go-getter, a real rhyme spitter. The big dog from the run out of the litter. Like, yeah, I came out small and overlooked, but now I'm the big one holding it down. I'm the big one holding Staten Island down. I was overlooked for 20 years. All y'all had all the time in the world. Yo, Brown Hornet, get on the track. Method Man, all of them, they know who I am. Yo, get on the track. None of them ever. You shouted me out early, but you never said, you know what? Yo, get on something. So as you ignored me, all I did was help. I turned into the big dog. Everybody on Staten Island from all neighborhoods, they know who I am.
Which is interesting to me because, like I said, you're not dated. You have clarity, you have bars, and you have pronunciation. You're like a real wordsmith. And you're an orator, not a rapper. So let me ask you this question. And it's interesting that you brought that up. So I'm going to change my interview again. Wu-Tang has been known to be MCs who break off into their own collectives. And even when I see you got bought King Just out on some of his stuff, but you did an album with King Just. Now for us, like I said in Jersey, Warrior's Drum is a classic. Should be all over the world. Black on Black Grime, classic. All over the world, has to be. Before we go to your collaboration, why do you think people aren't calling you? When I've seen like King Just on the You God albums, or like Album maybe, or and like people break off into their own thing. Why do you think that is so prevalent with people? Period. Like you have a posse or clique and it's big, and you know people have skill, but you tend not to gravitate toward them.
That's a hard question, but at the end of the day, like I said, power comes with numbers. So King Just stood out on his own. He was his own entity. Brown Hornet, you know what I mean, you can associate me with the GP Woo or whatever, but I was really my own entity. So due to the fact that we really didn't have voices speaking out for us, you know, even though the clan came in together, so even though they got solo deals, there was still whatever managerial, you know, because I could have easily got down with their management. Their management was like, yo, let me get 30% of you, your name and everything. You wanted to blood suck me. And if I would have did that, you would have known more about the Brown Hornet, because as they had their platform, they would have used me as long as they could have sucked their fangs into my neck. But I said, nah, I don't want you to do that. Well, you know what I mean? So it was...
That's the thing that pissed a lot of us off. Now, let me tell you why. There was an album that came out, and I'm not disrespecting Wu or nothing like that, 'cause I'm a fan of them too. Yeah. But the thing that pissed a lot of us off who were fans was The Swarm. And that album had the biggest clan. It had Wu Syndicate. It had all these people. Where were you at?
Yeah, it had all of those, but like I said, I wasn't underneath that regime to bow down to RZA. I wasn't gonna sign. These dudes was like, they looked up to the clan as the gods. Like, oh my God, I'm down with the clan. You still got individuals now who come out with albums that have a Wu logo on it. I'm not that dude. And I'm not gonna bow down to that, knowing my history in this movement. I'm there in the beginning. If anything, you should just open the door for me and say, you know what? Yo, homie over there tell your homie over there, yo, connect with Brown Hornet, because I'm a different entity, yo. So don't put me underneath your wing. You know what I mean? When I can fly on my own, I don't need to be a wingman. I don't lap dance.
And that goes back to what you said about paperwork and knowing your business. And as an artist, I want you to speak to the artist now. The pen is the thing that makes an MC and kills the MC. Because if your pen game's right and you have the right music, your product is correct. But the pen game could also kill you if your T's aren't crossing, your I's aren't dotted on the right paperwork.
So in a nutshell is this. It's the business of music. It's not the music business. And that's what you tell yourself as an artist. It's the business of music. So take care of your business. Go to CSAC, ASCAP, BMI. Every time you're in the studio with an original track and you lay down your vocals, From that studio, you publish your own music. You get the producer, and you get yourself as the publisher. You put it through your company, CSAC, ASCAP, BMI, whoever it is that you're using. You register your songs. That's first and foremost. That's even if you're not known. So by the time an individual notices you and says, you know what, let me mess with you, you already have your songs registered. You know? So now it's up to you to grab someone's contract and say, do I want to sign to this and give away half my publishing? Or do I want to stay on my own track and stay by myself and wait it out and reap all the benefits that I deserve, catch all my blessings? So a lot depends on people's situations and circumstances. But I would say to all the young artists out there, be business first. You know, register your songs, and if you can, open up your own company and sign to your own company first. So once you sign, if you come up with a record, if you come up with a name, you know, incorporate it, sign to it. So if anybody wants to mess with you, you're not signing your name and your artist, you're signing your corporation over.
Facts. True business from a true businessman. Shout out to Transparent Credit Repair, Heritage Hip Hop, because we teach MCs financial literacy, and we teach them how to own their wealth and not just be people spitting on beats. So to finish this part of the interview off, I'm going to ask you this one last question. Who's Pop the Brown Hornet as the businessman rather than the rapper?
Yeah, well, Pop the Brown Hornet as the businessman, even when I signed my, even when I ain't signed, but when I collaborated with my distributor and got Bombafire Enterprises and all of that, so that's just for me to, I have my own merchandise coming out, so it's just more than just me, an MC. An MC, you know, you make most of your music off for tours and merchandise. So me as an MC would say, like, you know, I'll be in this day and time for you to get on the radio and be heard and get publishing checks. You know, that's a difficult task. You have to have songs to where you be able to give to one of the artists that's already out there and blowing. But as me as the corporation, yeah, it's the website, it's the merchandise, and things of that nature, and it's to get the artists to come to you underneath your umbrella and put them out.